All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this webinar, How to Create a Six-Figure Lifestyle by Speaking Without Limits. By speaking without limits. And today, for the next hour, I hope you can bear with me until 1:30 now, since we got a little bit of a late start. So we're going to go till 1:30, and I'm going to teach you some ways that you can enjoy a six-figure lifestyle by speaking without limits. And what makes me the authority to do that? Speak about it, because I've been living that six-figure lifestyle for over 10 years, just using public speaking to grow my business. So I'm going to crack open the code and I'm going to share it with all of you here today. All right, so I'm going to get our show going here. So that we can look at the full screen and you can see me, but I can't see you. But I can see, if you go to the chat box, which is right here, I can see when you do a chat. So feel free, this is an interactive webinar, so feel free to chat, feel free to raise your hand, feel free to comment, and whatever else you'd like to do. All right, so we're going to get started. So again, our topic today is how to create a six-figure lifestyle by speaking without limits. Again, speaking without limits is key to what we're going to talk about today. So I want to thank all of you for being here and taking the time out of your day. I know it's sometimes hectic. It's a Friday, but you're here. I hope you're enjoying your lunch while you're listening to this. I'm not eating lunch. I'm on my 12th day of the lemon cleanse. So I thought, how else better to spend my time than to present some really great information to you while you're eating. So that's what we're going to do today. All right, so before I do, for some of you, you may not know me or may not know my story, so I want to share how I got into this business, how I got into the public speaking business as a public speaking trainer, because you see, I didn't plan on doing that. My degree is in information systems, and when I graduated from college, I went to work for a company downtown LA by the name of Deloitte Haskins and Sells, one of the big 8 CPA firms at the time. They're still around today, of course, big international firm, one of the big 4 CPA firms. And actually, this building right here is where I worked for, oh boy, I worked different places, but I was probably in that building for a good 10 years on the 29th floor. It was really rocking when there would be an earthquake. The whole thing was on rollers, so it really rock and roll a little bit. Well, my job was to set up financial accounting systems and teach business owners and small business owners how to automate their financial accounting, their inventory. Might not seem like a big deal now. Oh, Michael raised their hand. I'll get with you right real quick, Michael. And it might not seem like a big deal right now, but at the time it was huge, because only large companies could afford computerized accounting systems that took up the size of a room. So this was a revolutionary time. So my boss came to me and said, Arvi, I want you to get out there and start speaking and tell people that we offer this service. So I thought to myself, piece of cake. I took one class in college. I was good to go. I took one speech class. I thought I knew everything there was to know about public speaking. Well, I was wrong. And very quickly did I learn that, because no one would come and talk to me at the end of my talk. I was like the loneliest speaker in town. No one would even come close to me. And then one day, just like that, something happened. So everybody go like that. It really is cool. Just go like that. If somebody's like watching you, just say, wave to them, say, hi, I'm listening to this webinar. Anyway, just like that, this woman comes up to me. She looks me straight in the face and she says, honey, I hate to tell you this. Now, let me ask you, if somebody said that to you, what do you think's coming? Nothing good. I was smart enough to know that, even in my youth, that nothing good was coming out of her mouth. But I decided I was going to be brave. I braced myself and I said, what is it? And she said, honey, do you know that after every sentence you say, okay? Well, I just stood there with my mouth open, not even knowing what to say. And the only thing I could think of saying was, You got it. Okay. Okay. But I got it like that, that I was the problem. That just because I could flap my jaw did not mean that I was a public speaker. So I decided that wasn't going to happen again, and I was going to master this thing called public speaking. So I went to the library, checked out every book I could find, went to seminars, hired coaches and mentors, and even went to Toastmasters. I did everything I could to get better. And then the most amazing thing happened. As I hone these skills, I would go out and speak. I'd go blah, 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 poof, clients. Blah, 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 poof, clients. Just like that. It was amazing. And I thought to myself, this stuff really works. And so I just kept doing it. And I kept getting clients. My practice was full. And then that got the attention of my colleagues. They wanted to know what I was doing. So I started teaching them lunch and learn. That got the attention of the big boss. He wanted me to teach on a regional basis. And it just went on and on and on. And then I learned very quickly how I could use public speaking for upward mobility to get promotions within my own firm. How cool is that? Say that's cool. And so that's what I did. So for 23 years, I rose to the top, the very top that I could. I got clients, I filled my practice, all because of public speaking. Then what happened next is I reached the top that I could go. I was a senior manager in a CPA firm, and without a CPA license, I couldn't go any further. So it was time to make a change after 23-year career. But I didn't know what kind of change to make. So I did what any smart girl would do. I prayed about it, and it wasn't long before the answer came, before God gave me the answer. Pow! Public speaking. It was like hitting me upside the head, right? Duh. And he said, public speaking, teaching other business owners and entrepreneurs how to use public speaking to grow their business. And I thought, aha, that's it. So I left corporate America 12 years ago. I left this cushy job downtown LA and started my own entrepreneurial company 12 years ago, right? All of us did, but I rode the biggest recession wave in the history, and here I am still standing with a very lucrative, successful business, and it's all because of speaking, and I want to teach you how to do it. How cool is that? Say that's cool. All right, so let me look. Michael had his hand up. If anybody else has their hand up, let me know. All right, let me go to the viewers. Okay, Michael, well, I don't see Michael's hand up anymore. Michael, did you have a question? Michael, I'm going to put you on. I'm going to promote you to panelist for a moment so you can be live with me. All right, so you should be live. There we go, Michael. I can't hear you, but I can see you. Oh, wait, I muted you. Hang on. My mistake. Hold on. Unmute. There we go. Michael, how are you?
I'm very well, and you?
There you go. There's that great voice. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah?
Listen to one of my favorite speakers.
Yay, thank you. Wow.
I'm afraid in this case I took an unfortunate page out of your book and made a technical error. I didn't have a question asked to it.
That's okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you're here. You look great. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to take, isn't this fun being able to pull you in on a video? Isn't it fun? All right, so I'm going to mute, I'm going to take you off. I'm going to change roles to viewer, so you'll be a viewer now. All right, great, Michael. Perfect. Okay, so we'll continue. Okay, so my goal for this webinar today is to give you some great value that you can use immediately, but mainly it's to encourage you to get out there and start speaking. It's to encourage you to get trained. It's to encourage you that you do have a message to share, and it's to encourage you that it's time to step up and out and deliver that message. So that's my goal here today. So if you stay till the end, I'm going to give you a gift, and that gift is my secret formula to creating a core message, a killer core message that's magnetic, that will attract clients to you just like as if you were a magnet. So you're going to get that. It's affectionately known as the elevator speech, but I call it the core because it's at the core and the essence of what it is you do. You're going to get that electronically. Then you're also going to get how to turn that into a self-introduction. So if you're standing up at a networking meeting, you've got it. You know what to say. It's a formula. It's a recipe. It's proven. It'll work for you no matter what you do, and it's step by step. So that's people pay thousands of dollars to come to my training to get that formula alone, and it's a formula you can use for the rest of your life no matter what it is you do. All right, so what makes this webinar different? Well, what makes it different is not only are we in the Zoom room where you can actually see me and feel a little connected with me, but it's different because I'm going to share with you some concepts that you may not have heard before. And again, that kind of like the backbone of public speaking and why you need to get out there and do it. So stay with me. All right, so one of the things that I just want to share with you, and again, it's not to brag, it's just to impress upon you that you can do it too if you get started today. So I've given over 3,500 speeches globally. Yes, I've spoke all over the world. I've gone to Turkey and Europe and all kinds of places, Egypt. I even spoke on the Nile River, floating down the Nile River in Egypt, and it was great. If you don't think speaking abroad is fun, you need to think again because it is a gas. And then this July, I'm going to speak and mentor in the Yucatan. So I'm excited about that. All right, we're going to help some kids in orphanages and too. We always want to, put kind of a nice spin to it as well. All right, so I've trained over 5,000 business owners over the last 12 years, and not only my seminars and workshops, but teleclasses and webinars just like this. And they are out there speaking their business. And I've hosted over 700 live events. I have speaker training events. I have one-day events. I didn't even put on there my teleclasses because I've been doing teleclasses once a week for the last 10 years. So, figure that one out. No, it's a lot. I do what I say and I say what I do. So I'm out there speaking. I'm, driving the pack. I'm ahead of the pack, learning everything you need to know so I can come back and teach you where the pitfalls are and what to avoid. All right, so some of the things that I've done wrong, I'm not perfect. I haven't done everything right in my business for the 12 years. Some of the things I've done wrong is, of course, as I mentioned in my story, I went out and started speaking without getting properly trained, without getting a mentor. And here's the problem when you do that. There's no do-overs in public speaking. So what happens is you ruin not only the chance to speak and help people, but you ruin your reputation. Because unfortunately, people will talk about a bad speaker just like they will about a good speaker. So I lost a lot of business in the beginning, and I ruined my reputation as a speaker, even though I worked for a company like Deloitte. The speaking engagements weren't forthcoming right after that. I had to turn around and prove myself in the years to come. So I did some things wrong too, but I've done a lot of things right. And one of the things I did right is immediately when I left corporate America, I hired a mentor for an entire year to teach me how to become an entrepreneur. So anything that you want in this lifetime, there's a mentor for you that'll help you to give it. Why do it the hard way? I didn't want to wait and lose a lot of money and then hire a mentor. I hired a mentor right away. I knew that I didn't know how to be an entrepreneur. So that's something I did right out of the gate. So again, you can do it right too. Don't try to do this yourself. There's so many nuances, and I'm going to share a little bit later how public speaking has changed. So even if you did take a class years ago, it's much different than it is today. So get trained. So after training business owners and entrepreneurs for the last 12 years, I discovered several things, but 3 of them, main things I want to share with you right here today, and that is speaking is a learned skill, and anyone can learn it. It's not like singing. It's not like dancing. So there's hope. No matter who you are, you can learn how to do this. And I teach people a system. Now, I've talked a lot about systems. Why am I talking about systems? Remember, I was in the systems world. So everything I knew was a system. When I would set up accounting systems, I mean, we had flow charts, and it was proven. There was no art about it. It was science. It was proven. And so when I got out of corporate America, it sounds like I got out of corporate America. When I left corporate America, I came and there was no systems for speaking. The closest thing there was have a beginning, middle, and end. But no one told you what to put in that beginning, middle, and end. That's where I came in. I tell you exactly the steps to put in there. So it gives you that kind of confidence that you're building a speech correctly. The other thing I learned is, again, with these proven systems, anyone can use them for any business, any length of time of speech, whether it's 5 minutes or 5 hours, it doesn't matter. They work, and anyone can learn the systems fast. All right, really fast. And number three, everyone has a unique message to share that will change lives, bring you income, and of course, change the world. And if you've been with me before, you know my mantra, and that is this. You have a message to share that only you can share to people that can only hear it from you. And that message will change somebody's life or their business. That's why it's your moral duty to get it out in the world and start helping people, because they're suffering, waiting for you to get trained and get out there and start speaking your message. All right? Now, you can do this. We can do some of the things the hard way, or you can do things the easy way. So, doing things the hard way is going to networking meetings with only a handful of people and hanging out with people you don't like. I mean, I'm sorry, but I know sometimes I go to some of my, I'm not going to say meetings, and sometimes there's people there that I'm not particularly fond of. And I mean, I love everybody, but I don't want to hang out with everybody. So if this resonates with you, I want some interaction here. So look at the chat box or the Q&A box, whichever one you want, and I want you to say, okay, I got a couple chats. All right. Okay, great. Okay, so I've got the chats, and it's already stuff I've already heard, or things that I've already addressed. All right, so in the chat box or in your Q&A box, go ahead and write something like that something that you like about networking meetings or you don't like about networking meetings. All right, so the next hard way is to attend these meetings week after week, build relationships, but you still don't get any sales. How many of you are like that? I mean, really, you can go to these meetings, you build the relationships, but they're just not wanting to buy. Maybe they're the wrong people. Maybe they're people that that are selling something that you don't particularly want, or they don't particularly want what you want. Whatever the reason is, it's just no sales. I know I don't mean it in a bad way, but there's groups that I belong to, and there's, and by the nature of what some of the people do, I know that they'll probably never become a client of mine. So are you hanging out in those kind of groups? Also, picking up the phone is the hard way. Picking up that whether it's a cell phone or whatever it is, but it gets really heavy after a while, that 100-pound gorilla phone, making those cold calls, leaving the messages that no one is going to return. Now, I get just as frustrated with you, but I don't make cold calls anymore. I make warm calls, and I've got a secret script that gets my phone calls ready. So gets my phone calls answered. If you stay on the call with me, I will share that script with you here today. All right, so how about this one? Do you want to do it the easy way? Yes. So if you said yes, I want you to put in the chat box, heck yes. Put in the chat box if you want to know the easy way, and I'm looking at the chat box, put in heck yeah, heck yeah. All right, we got a couple chats. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Heck yes. All right, heck yes. We got from Easy Peasy from David. Absolutely. All right, good. Heck yes. Heck yeah. That's a good one too. Excellent. All right. So now the easy way to close more sales, make more money, and live a life of freedom. I hope you guessed the easy way. I've made over $100,000 in one weekend by speaking, and I didn't have to pick up the phone, I didn't have to eat rubber chicken, and I didn't have to listen to anybody's boring conversation. All right. I did it by speaking. I did it by even having my own event and having people in my room, which is the next step after you speak, build your database, then you can invite them to your room. All right, so that's, yeah. Now, not everybody can do this. Again, I'm not going to say you're going to make $100,000, but I'm going to say if you don't learn how to do it, you won't make $100,000 from speaking. But if you learn how to do it right and learn the scripts, build your database, I'm saying it's a possibility because I've done it more than once. And the only difference between you and me is I use my system. That's it. I've learned it and I use it over and over and over again. Right. Okay, next. 3 secrets to make money with your message. These 3 secrets to make money with your message and actually begin on that 6-figure income. One is leverage. You need to leverage speaking. How do you do that? You have to get out there and speak often, frequent. You can't use public speaking and expect to make a 6-figure income if you dabble in it. You can't dabble in it. It's something that you need to commit to and do it on a weekly basis. And if and when you do, you will make a ton of money. So just imagine this. Now, here's the key. Write this down. If you want to make more sales, more money, you need to get in front of more people. That's it. Public speaking is the best way, easiest way, fastest way to do that. If you spoke to one group of 25 people and you did that in a month 4 times, that's 100 new people. If you did that 10 times in 10 months, excuse me, if you did that for 10 months, that's 1,000 new people that you're in front of that you wouldn't normally be in front of. 1,000 people that heard you speak, that resonated with you, that know you now. See, the key to sales is visibility. It's not who you know anymore. It's who knows you, right? All right. So leverage. Number 2, it works when you speak to your target market. If you're not going to speak to your target market, then you're not going to get results. You're not going to make those sales. But be careful who your target market is. You want to pick a target market that you can play in. A target market that you can play in, one that you want. So what am I talking about here? Well, one of my new clients came to me and I said, okay, what is your target market? His name's Jason. And he said he was a brand new financial advisor. And he said, well, I really want to work with the broke and the broken. Well, guess what he became? Broken. You got it. So I recommended to him that let's pick the affluent market for you. And then when you get enough money, when you make that 6-figure income, you can help other people for free. He liked that idea and he's soaring, his career is soaring to this day because of it. So be careful who you pick as your target market. Now remember, the niches are in the riches, so it's not everybody. If you say it's everybody, it's nobody. If you say it's everybody, it's nobody. So be careful and make sure that you pick a direct target market that you like to work in. I like to work with entrepreneurs and business owners myself. Now, most of who I attract just by default are baby boomers, but doesn't mean I don't work with some millennials and Gen X and even older generations. So I don't target them. I don't go and speak to those places. But if they come to me and they're in the audience, awesome. Right? So it doesn't mean that you can't serve somebody that comes to you that's interested. It just means you don't go and seek out speaking engagements in those areas. Oh, okay, so I want to go back. Excuse me. All right, so the last one is stories. All right, you must have stories in your presentation in order to sell. So I shared stories about Jason. I shared my story. So you need to have stories, success stories in your professional story in your presentation. And any other story that you can think of that applies to what it is that you're sharing and how you're teaching your audience. So I hope you're all enjoying your lunch. We have a little more time to go. If you are eating lunch right now, why don't you tell me a little bit about what it is that you're having? I would love to know. All right, so put it in the chat box. So this is Pete, and Pete is an accountant. Now, most accountants aren't known to be eloquent speakers, and so Pete had a presentation at the Upland Chamber in my neighborhood, and he wanted to be good. He wanted to not be boring. He didn't know how to close. He didn't know any of that. So we did some coaching. And he went out and he delivered his 30-minute presentation, and it was right before tax season, so he received 3 tax clients right then and there. He also received some potential clients that he had got bookkeeping, audit clients, a bunch of other services. Now I asked him, I said, so Pete, how much money and revenue do you think that those 5 clients will generate? And he was like taken aback. He's like, thousands, right? Thousands. Because most people do not change their tax accountants, right? They'll have a tax account for years and years to come. People are very loyal to their tax accountant. All right, so I'm going to look at, we've got a little chat here. Not eating, fasting for cleansing, but fasting for cleansing, but eating info. Hey, that's what I'm doing, David. I'm fasting. All right. Um, yeah, I'm on day 12. Excellent. I'm doing the lemon cleanse, or what's called the master cleanse. You can look it up online. Really simple, easy cleanse. It's been around since the early 50s. All right, I do it every year and every year before my upcoming event, which is in 2 weeks. All right, so that's Pete. So again, stories. Now let's talk about disposable income. Most people have disposable income, right? What are you doing with that disposable income? That's the income. Instead of buying Starbucks, instead of going and buying a movie, instead of going and buying a bunch of clothes, that disposable income will work the best if you put it and invest it in yourself. When you put any kind of investment in yourself, you'll get 10 times the benefit than if you just drank it or you ate it for dinner or ate it for lunch or whatever. So just think of that. When you look at your disposable income, how can you use it? I know right before income tax, it's a good time to always take a look at what you have left over. You can either give it to Uncle Sam or invest it in yourself and reap the rewards. I prefer investing it in myself. All right, so the past hour we talked about just how to use speaking. We don't have a lot of time. I want to share with you a way that you can get more information in just a few minutes. I know our time's cut a little bit shorter because of the difficulties we have, and I want to respect your time. But for the past hour, we talked about leverage, which is key, consistency, using public speaking on an ongoing basis. We talked about your target markets and going to the right target market. And then, of course, we talked about not, that you have a message to share that only you could share. We talked about systems and how if you use proven systems, how it's faster to learn. So we talked a lot about that, the key elements, the things that people don't want to share with you, don't want to share that there is a real way to craft your presentation to set you up for success. They want you to ramble. They don't want you to succeed. I want you to succeed. So that's what we talked about for the past hour. Now, old habits die hard. I know some of you have learned some old techniques in speaking, but public speaking has changed over the years. It's not the same. Same with the financial industry. Same with computers. Same with everything that we do. It's changed. So you've got to change and be updated with your public speaking training and talents. All right. So public speaking, just know, has changed. Right now, what people want is more of an experience. They don't want to be bored. They don't want to be talked at. They want an experience. But let me share with you where it's going. And that is being real, what I call naked authenticity. Audiences want you to be real, who you are. I mean, right now I'm being very transparent, very organic in this presentation, not worrying about, I'm bringing you into my home. This is my office. So how much realer can you be than that? Well, there's one way I can be real, a little more real. Are you ready? All right, Zoe, I want you to meet my baby. Come here, Zoe. Come. Come. She's like asleep. Come here, Zoe. Come. Come on, you're going to be the star. Come on. Oh, she ran out the door. Oh, that's hilarious. I don't know. She didn't like the word star. She had stage fright, and she ran out the door. But anyway, that's my 3-year-old boxer. Okay, so let me talk to you about, you're going to be thrilled about this new information that I'm going to share with you and how you can get more of it. So, and I'm thrilled too. Now, I know, Michael, don't be offended. I love you. I love you, Michael. And I know you're not a Christian, and that's okay. I know you're Jewish, and Jesus was King of the Jews. So bear with me because there's something for you. I love you. Mwah. I love all faiths. I just happen to be demonstrating mine because I'm being real right now. So once a year, I have this event called Christians in Business Who Rock. You don't have to be Christian to attend. The information of public speaking is not Christian, right? It's just a lot of the audience is. And we do pray and we do sing. So if you like praying and singing, then it's for you. But we just break up all the training so it doesn't feel like it's, you know, heavy training, classroom kind of training. We want to have fun. So there's something for all of you here. So it's May 13th, 14th, 15th. It's in 2 weeks. And it's a 3-day training. I'm going to teach you how you can get it for under $200. Now, my 4-day speaker training intensive is $3,000. So I just want to kind of give you a comparison there. This is really serious. We got one more chat. All righty. Okay, good. Oh, David did the cleanse 40 days. Oh boy, I don't know if I could do 40 days. I'm on day 12. I think I'm going to do a couple more, but then I think I'm going to kind of, I love food. What can I say? I think I'm going to kind of end, end gracefully. All right. So a little bit more about the event. So what are you going to learn there? Day 1, we're going to talk about how to rock your speech. So we're going to talk about the elevator speech, the self-introduction, and your signature talk. I'm going to teach you the concept of the speech sandwich and the 5 steps that go in the beginning, 5 steps that go in the close, and what to put in that middle, and how to structure that middle. So you're going to learn that the first day. We're going to talk, my secret formula, yes, for elevator speech. 3 speeches that you must have in your business. Oh yes, the speaker wheel. We're going to learn the speaker wheel. That's everything you need to know to keep rolling down the track and learning more about public speaking and keep that public speaking wheel going. There's 12 aspects, and through the 3, I'm going to introduce it on the first day, and you're going to learn it the next 2 days after the first day. You're going to learn in all 3 days, all 12. And then how to captivate your listeners with stories. You're going to learn the secret to building trust and rapport with your audience. You're going to learn the 4 stories that you must have in your presentation. We talked about 2 of them here today. That's all I had time for. But you're going to learn the other 2 when you arrive. And the value of that's 4,000. Let me go previous again in case I was a little fast there. $4,484 just there alone. And I'm talking about public speaking training for under $200. So even if you could only make a day, it's worth it. And then the second day, we're going to talk about how to use it in your business to rock your business. We're going to talk about how to get more speaking engagements that you can handle. And this is one of the number 1 challenges that people face. Once they get out of my training, they go, well, where do I go? Where do I go to speak? How do I get those speaking engagements? I'm going to give you a script. So all you have to do is pick up the phone, or give it to somebody else, an assistant, and wife, husband, something like that, and they can call for you. Going to talk about powerful language, body language. Now, this is an interactive course, so there's going to be a lot of time where you're going to be doing activities and exercises with each other, so you can build a bond with each other as well as learn. Again, all part of what's happening out there in the public speaking world. So not only am I going to teach you what's coming and how to do it, but I'm going to teach you by you experiencing it, being in it, because that's how you're going to learn at a deeper cellular level. I'm going to teach you how to speak persuasively and get more sales, the secret formula to create a magnetic self-introduction, popular places to avoid. This is really key because you don't want to speak just anywhere. Now, when you start speaking, I'm not talking about selling yet. I'm talking about you do 200 speeches before you worry about selling from the platform. But where are you going to do those 200 speeches? There's some places that you need to not go. They're not going to be encouraging. It could have the opposite effect than what you want. So I'm going to tell you which ones to avoid. And how to become a better leader of influence. How many of you'd like to become a better leader? Put in the chat box. Heck yeah. That's me. You're ready to rise up and become that leader. The value of that's $5,184. That's the real world value if you were to buy each of them separately. So who's this training for? Again, now I had two. Oh, let me share with you. Sorry, I skipped that. Let me share with you who it's actually for. Again, it's for men and women of faith. If you don't believe in God at all, it's probably not the best place for you unless you're thinking about wondering about Him, and then it might be a good place. But no matter what your faith is, I have Buddhists come. Last year I had 5 or 6 different Buddhists come. Of course, have a lot of my friends are Jewish. I've got some that are spiritual and New Age that come. So everybody's welcome to this seminar. Everybody's welcome. Again, as long as you don't mind me expressing my faith on stage in my own event, then we're all welcome, and we're going to make you all feel very, very comfortable about you and what faith. We're not converting. Don't get me wrong, this isn't a conversion or a transformation event in faith. It's a transformation event in your public speaking skills. So got it? When I say got it, I want you to write in the chat box, got it. I want to make sure that you got that. All right? So this is, again, about... okay, Brenda joined us. Brenda's on. She's going to come to the event. Eric is on. He's going to come to the event already. So welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Brenda, I did promote you to VIP. Brenda's been one of my clients and been hanging out with me for so long, honey, that I just wanted to upgrade you as my gift for just being a loyal client and coming to all these events and being dedicated to becoming a public speaker. So good for you. I'm excited that you're going to be here. Going to be there. All right, so that's who it's for. It's for anybody who wants to become a better speaker, period. Anybody who wants to use speaking to grow their business, period. That's who it's for. If you want to make a 6-figure income, if you want to speak without any limits, just broadening, just getting out there and just shouting and speaking your business and speaking whatever message you have, this event is for you. All right, it's for people that are on fire. Now, I had a couple of options, a couple of choices. I could have gone really cheap with this event, right? I could have even gone free. And I've done free before, but then what happens is there's no skin in the game, and people will leave early, and then the quality of networking and people you meet just isn't there. All right? So I didn't want to do that for you. So I wanted to put just a small amount, right? Just a small amount. So my second option is to make it a higher investment and exchange resources, devote the resources that I get to putting it into the seminar. And that's what I decided to do. So again, for under $200, you get 3 days of public speaking training and a lot of fun too. I've got some entertainment coming. I've got Elvis coming. Yes, Elvis is alive. He came back and he's coming to this event. So guaranteed you'll see him. But anyway, so it just is a higher caliber of people that you can partner up with. And I have met so many people. I just talked to somebody today that just told me that a individual that he met 2 years ago, the connection has been phenomenal. And since that, this was a movie producer, and since that time, he's gone on to MC at this movie producer's events, and the families have become best friends, the husband and wife and children. It's just amazing because there's a higher quality and caliber of people that attend these events when you put some skin in the game. All right, this is Angela. Now, Angela, talk about the movie producer that I just brought up. Angela was on my stage. My students that are in my mastermind get to speak on my stage. So if you ever want to get on my stage, join my mastermind program, and then you will automatically be eligible to be on my stage. So Angela, 2 years ago, came to my stage, spoke on it. One of my friends who was in the audience was and is a movie producer. He heard her story and afterwards asked to produce her documentary of her life. And of course, she said yes. It just came out this past year in February, and it's phenomenal. Now, these opportunities only happen with God, to me, with God's presence, right? Bringing the people together that need to be there, that need to be in that room. If you are drawn and compelled to be there, no matter what faith you are, you need to be there. You need to listen up because there's somebody that you need to meet, because there's something you need to do. There's somebody waiting to meet you. And that's what happened to Angela. She was obedient and she followed faith. She came to my mastermind, went on stage, and voila. Do you think that that movie more than paid for her what she invested in this class and or the mastermind? You betcha. Now she's speaking on huge stages. So here she is. This is her. I was right up here somewhere in the audience. I don't know. Maybe that's me. I think right there, as a matter of fact, watching her. This is the debut. This is the movie producer, my friend that I told you about. So this is proof, social proof that yes, we were there, and that's the rollout of her movie. So again, the third day, what you're going to learn is how to rock the world. If you're one of those, again, that want to push the limits of speaking, it's time to have a bigger message and to get it out there in a big way. So if you've already been speaking, maybe you're just ready to rock the world right now. If you're just beginning speaking, then you want to rock your world, rock your business, and then take it out on a bigger scale, in a limitless scale to the world. So the third day, we're going to talk about that, how to become that change leader in your industry and play a bigger game. Quit being small. It's time to be mighty. How to make a difference with your message every time you speak. And the secret formula, I'm going to give you this to create a killer speaker introduction. I don't know about you, but have you ever seen speakers that give some sort of a too long speaker introduction and that just audiences tune out and they lose their audiences very quickly? So I'm going to give you, again, everything I do is formulas so you can duplicate it, and how to market yourself as a speaker and how to become a messenger for God if you choose to do so and get on bigger stages. Value $3,090, but of course it's priceless. Yes, so all of the real world value for all 3 days, $12,758. And again, we're talking, oh, let me talk about some bonuses. When you sign up, an instant download that you're going to get is worth $1,078. And what is this? It's a training toolkit. It's filled with audios. It's filled with reports. It's filled with how-to-dos and checklists. All right? It's a complete A to Z what you need to do to get out there and speak, and it's free. So you're going to get that for the first 20 people. And then my speech introduction template. So you're going to get that. It's a template to command your audience's attention. You're going to get that at the event. And then, of course, 60-minute private video webinar like this, where I pull back the curtain and you can ask me anything you want about not only public speaking, but the seminar business, and I will reveal all to you. And also, as if that's not enough, if all this event was for you, if all it did is pay for the price of the admission, wouldn't that be enough? If all this event did was encourage you to speak, wouldn't that be enough? I believe it would. Would it be worth it, the small amount of the investment? Okay, would it be worth it if you could make 1K, 5K, 10K or more just by learning this knowledge? How much would you pay to get that kind of information? How much would you pay to make a six-figure income within the first year of speaking? How much would you pay if you knew how to make $100,000 in one weekend? Right? That's what I'm going to teach you at this event. People pay me $3,500 just for one day. It's called a power day. So just for one day to learn this information, they pay me $3,500. So you can see why my public speaking 3-day is a good deal, even if I charge $5,000, right? but it's not $5,000. For the general public, it's only $1,000, just under $1,000. But because you're here, because most of you are already one of my clients, or you've heard me speak, you're going to get access to this event for only $197 today. That's it for 3 days. I don't know any event that's that inexpensive, that you get this kind of training and you get me. There's no other speakers. This is not a pitch fest, just so you know. There's no other speakers. Okay, read my lips. No other speakers. I'm the only trainer speaker that's going to be there. I'm going to invite a few people on stage for, oh, I should say there are 6 other speakers, but they're my students. They're only speaking for 50 minutes each, right? To show you how the system works and how anybody can use it. Some of the speakers have been speaking, and some of them are brand new, first-time speakers. And so I want you to see the parallel and the contrast and how wonderful it is and visible this system really is. So those are the only speakers. But otherwise, no other speakers. A couple of panelists. I'm going to have my friend Victor going to join me. I'm going to interview him. But again, no other speakers, no sales gimmicks, nothing. All right? You've got my word. Now, you have 2 choices yourself. Okay, remember I had 2 options? Now you have 2 options. The first option is to do nothing and take this leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free, right? So you can do nothing and not, and not take the leap of faith. Oh, Suzanne is here. Let me quickly go to Suzanne. She raised her hand. Excellent. Suzanne's coming. Yes, honey. Let me, okay, let me get to you. Hold on. I have to pull myself down, pull my video down so I can see you. Okay. Now, where's my friend Suzanne? I can't see you here. Okay. Let me hang on. Viewers, let me go. Okay. I don't see you, Suzanne. I'm sorry. Okay. Just put it in the chat and then I'll get you there. All right. So your first option is to do nothing, right? And nothing will happen, right? Now, I know people, unfortunately, that decided not to take this training, and guess what? It's been a year. This is my 3rd year doing it, so it's not my first event, even in this event. And they're in the same place financially, and the same place spiritually, and the same place with their connections, the same place. So, do you want to be in the same place you are now, next year? Or do you want to be somewhere different? See, everything that you want is outside your comfort zone, or you would already have it, period. Everything you want, you might even want to write that down. Everything that you want is outside your comfort zone, or you would already have it. So I'm giving you an opportunity to step out of your comfort zone, come to an event where you're going to learn something different. There's no other public speaking event like this. None. Zero, zip. There's other public speaking events, but nothing like this one. All right, second option is pony up a small investment compared to all the value that you're going to get in return and give it a shot, all right? Just give it a shot. Join me and a few other people that are on this call, and a few other people that are on this call. Suzanne, if you want to write to me, that would be awesome. All right? Okay. All right, so give it a shot. And next, if it works, great. If not, just ask for your money back. So it's a no-brainer. If after you come for the 3 days, if you didn't like it, and if you didn't get value, if you didn't get more value, then honey, I don't want your money, right? Because I'm living a 6-figure lifestyle right now. I've just recently, if you've watched me on Facebook, renovated my entire house, and that was not cheap. And I'm not saying it to brag. I'm just saying $197 isn't going to change my lifestyle, but it could very well change yours, and I want that for you. So sign up, come. So there's a 30-day guarantee. You can sign up today if you don't like it for any reason. I don't care if it's 29 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes from now. Just let me know, and you can have 100% of your money back. 100%. All right, so to sign up, just go to GoChristiansInBusinessWhoRock.com. Now, here's the real question. All right, we have one quick chat. Excellent. There we go. Hi, I want that for me too. Absolutely, Suzanne. It's time. It's time, Suzanne. I know you've been working hard. You just need this next level of work. All right, this next level of training. And next year, I want you on my stage telling people what happened. All right? You be a testimonial. Okay, so it is worth the gamble for a few minutes of your time to check this out, which, if it does even half of what I claim to do today on this webinar, it would pay for itself. It's just $197. That's it for 3 days, just to you. All right? If you go on the regular website, you'll see it is more. So let me show you what to do next. What you want to do is go to go.christians in business who rock. Go to Christians in business who rock. Get started now. Just go to that website, click on it, and you will be in. All right? You'll be in, and that's it. All right? So let me just share again the tale of two people. All right? Let me just share a little story about Marlene. Now, Marlene was on the fence 2 years ago about whether or not she should come. Now, Marlene had a so-so business in network marketing. I won't say which one, but so-so. But her dream was to become a director. And she knew in her heart, and she was pulled, that if she could be doing public speaking, she could rise above all of her upline and be the one presenting at these meetings. But she got a little scared and she didn't come. That was 2 years ago. I just spoke to her 2 days ago. She is still in the same place, in the same rut. She is not a director. She does not have her white Mercedes, which she was looking forward to. She's in the same spot doing the same thing, and all she's doing is networking, and that's it. She's not out there speaking. She's not visible. People don't know she exists. Now, let me share with you, well, just like about Angela, who now, Angela did take the training, and Angela is now speaking at the California Women's Conference in front of thousands of people because she did take the training. She did show up, and now she's out there speaking. So you pick which tale you want to be next year when I have this webinar. Am I going to share your story? Are you going to be a superstar? Or are you going to be in the same place that you are now? It's your choice. All right, so let me show you what to do next. So go ahead and sign up. All right, let me go back in case. Right, you didn't get this. So that's all you have to do. So I made it within the hour. Thank you for those of you that joined me late. Thank you, because we had trouble getting on Zoom a little bit earlier, so we did start late, but I did want to honor your time and make it no more than an hour. But here's what I want to just share with you in the last few minutes that we have left. I believe that you do have a message to share, and I want to help you to get out there and share it in all sincerity. So whatever it takes to get you there, that's what we need to do. Whether it's help, whether it's help to finance you here, or whether it's just to have you become one of my worker bees, whatever it is, let's get you there. Do not let money stand in the way. Borrow the money if you have to. That's what Tony Robbins did. Tony Robbins went to a Jim Rome conference. He borrowed the money from his mother, $35, to get there. When he listened to Jim Rome, he knew that Jim was a mentor for him. So he went to the bank to borrow $1,000, and he pleaded with the bank loan officer to give him the money. He pleaded that he said he would pay it back in no time. So one of the things you have to do for a loan is you have to give an address. Well, he gave an address. And the loan officer said, well, I don't recall there being any residential homes in this particular area. And Tony said, well, it's not a home, actually. It's 7-Eleven. It was the 7-Eleven in Azusa, California. If you know Tony Robbins, you know he grew up in Azusa, which is pretty close to me. And so the bank loan officer said, well, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And Tony was so persuasive. He said, but I already talked to the owner of the store. I can use this as my mailing address. I promise I will pay you back every penny. Well, the teller was so compelled, not the teller, excuse me, the loan officer, so compelled with the story that he said, okay, and she talked to his boss, or her boss. She talked to her boss. And the boss came back. Tony talked to him, lent him the $1,000. And the rest is history. Tony Robbins is a billionaire. I can't promise you that you'll become a billionaire, but I can promise you that you will be better off than you are now and that your message will be out there in the world. So I just had a hand raised, so let me see. Um, David raised his hand. So let me see where the hand raises. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let me see. Okay, I'm going to promote you, David, to panelist so you can come in and join us. There you are. David, are you there? Oh, we can't. Hold on. I can't see you, but let me get you. Let me get you with us. Hold on. You're automatically muted, so let me unmute you. There we go. All right, David, can you talk to me?
I can talk.
There you go. I can hear you.
Good.
Awesome.
Hi.
David, are you signed up for this event yet?
Not yet. I'm going to be out of town. It's not going to work.
Oh,
Unfortunately, this time.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Hey, I just wanted to say a note that I worked at a 7-Eleven next to Azusa Pacific College, which is now Azusa Pacific University. And I'm wondering if that's the same one. That's kind of funny.
You know what? It might be the same one. So what David said is he worked you work at Azusa Pacific?
No, I worked at a 7-Eleven, which is next to Azusa Pacific.
Okay, you're fading out. Sorry. So you're wondering if that's the same 7-Eleven? It might be. It just might be. I don't know.
It's
But
1968.
1968. Yes, it happened a long time ago. True story. True story. So absolutely could. Okay, well, I see our time is almost over. So if there are any questions, go to your Q&A box or go to the chat and ask me questions. And in the last 5 minutes, we'll take a few questions. So if you have any questions about the event, and so David, I'll take you off of you.
Okay, thank you.
Too bad I can't see you. It would be awesome to see you. So let me put you back as a viewer. All right, there you go. Excellent. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat box. I know some people want to know, well, what is going on Thursday night? We do have VIP upgrades on Thursday night, and that's where I'm going to have Elvis. We do have Florence LaRue, who is the famous singer from the 70s that sang Up, Up, and Away and Dawning of Aquarius. She's actually our singer for all 3 days. Plus, we have another dear friend of mine who's a gospel singer coming in, Patricia McQueen. So we're going to have a lot of entertainment, a lot of celebrities coming through. I've got some panels. I've got like I said, a millennial I am interviewing on all the new ways to speak in the new, in this new millennial that's happening. So there's a lot of different social media places that we can speak. You might have heard of Periscope and Snapchat and some of those others. So we're going to tap into the intelligence of a millennial and learn some of the new things as us baby boomers learn new things. So if you have any questions, great. If you don't, then we will call our lunchtime ended. So this was a great lunch and learn. I want to thank all of you for joining me again. Keep looking for these webinars. I'm sorry this one didn't get started on time. We had some technical difficulties with the provider in which we actually had to call and get some help. So I'm glad you're on now. Look for some more, and I will see you in 2 weeks at Christians in Business Who Rock. Bye, everyone.